Goddamn.
Goddamn is right. Goddamn is right, man. What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back, man, to another edition of NHP, man. Another edition of Unscripted, man. How is everybody doing? What is going on, everybody? And like I said, man, welcome back. This is episode 209 of Unscripted. And with that, welcome everybody to the show. And if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know how the show works, every Monday we are on here after Monday Night Raw with Unscripted. Every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news. And actually, for the next 2 weekends, you guys will have this. But for the pay-per-views for WWE and AEW, we are live directly after the show goes off the air. And speaking of such, this Sunday,
Mhm.
you guys will have us for All In, man. You guys will have us on here for All In. And yeah, bro. So hopefully it's gonna be good, bro. We'll definitely talk about the build, and we'll talk about the recent additions, the recent installments of Dynamite that we've gotten over the past couple weeks. Has been a little rough, but we're gonna talk about last week's obviously episode of Dynamite, man. There is a little bit of SmackDown to talk about tonight, and then obviously we're gonna end you guys off on Monday Night Raw as we always do, bro. But so you guys will have us for All In this upcoming Sunday, and then next Saturday you guys will have your boys on here for the Bash in Berlin pay-per-view, man. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, man. But yes, if you guys do not know how the show works, every Monday after Monday Night Raw for Unscripted, every Friday at 4 p.m. Central with the news, and for the for the pay-per-views for WWE and AEW, we are live directly after the show goes off the air with the post-show review, man. So with that, what is going on, everybody? And if you guys did miss this past Friday's edition of the news, that is All In Texas 2025 got announced for AEW, as well as, well, I mean, that aged like fine wine. The second part of the oh wait, no. I'm thinking about 2 weeks ago. No. I'm thinking about the Jacob Fatu story. Oh, okay. All In Texas 2025, as well as the Judgment Day rebranding. We talked about the Judgment Day rebranding to Street Trash. We talked about that. But I mean, since it is a topic today, Jacob Fatu. I mean, it was a story on Friday, it just wasn't in the thumbnail. Jacob Fatu returning towards the end of August, aged like fine wine, because
It
literally,
really did.
that night. But so we'll definitely talk about that, bro. But if you guys did miss that, that is episode 227 of the news, man, and that is available for you guys on all platforms. It's Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every Friday at 4 p.m. Central with the news, man. Also, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official Notorious Heels podcast merchandise, to get the new shirt representing the rebrand and the next chapter of NHP. You can see it on your very screen right there. That is available for you guys on bonfire.com. That is, link is at the top of the description of this very video. And, man, it's at the top of this very video, man, and that is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man, like I said. And, man, so if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the beautiful brand new
Hell
official
yeah.
merchandise for NHP. Again, man, that is available on bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this video, man. So with that, man, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very podcast. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How the hell are you, bro?
I'm 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 doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just been chilling out, man. Just been chilling out. Just waiting for these 2 weekends. I'm excited. All In, Bash in Berlin, and I'm excited to back good looking overall pay-per-views. We'll talk about the build to one of them, but overall it's been pretty good, and I'm excited for both of them. And I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Like Durante always ask, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. The family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing in the replay? And what are you, bro? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, bro. I'm doing all right, man. Just yeah, I mean, like I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, man, just getting the podcast prepared for these shows coming up and stuff. So that's just basically what's been on my plate, bro. Just getting everything trying to get everything prepared for all that and yeah, just trying to make those shows as best as they can possibly be, bro. So yeah, dude, pretty excited for that, and that's basically about it, man. That's basically about it. September is usually where things get a little bit busy in the personal life, for sure. September is definitely one of those months out of the every year that's usually just a busy month because of just dates and birthdays,
Yeah,
anniversary, all that kind of stuff, bro. So that's usually when things get busy for me. But August usually one of my chill months, bro. Yeah, August is usually one of my chill months, bro. So yeah, dude. Funny story, bro. I was driving back, man, from the unfun job today, and I was driving past my old high school, and I realized to myself, man, the fucking kids start school today, bro. Fucking
hmm,
and I thought back.
crazy.
I thought back to senior year, man. God, when was that? Yeah, 5 years ago. Fuck, 5 years ago,
Dang.
bro. Started senior year, and I remember on the first day, dude. I remember. I literally the whole year. I just remember saying to myself, man, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what we're gonna do in the landscape of content creation after this whole high school thing ends. Um, and then lo and behold, bro, 5 years later, here we are. So that brought me back to, I guess, all of senior year, dude. It was just definitely the most fun year of high school, but it was definitely a year of just like, man, are we gonna do the podcast? Is it gonna come into fruition? What is it gonna be? And Lord, are we fucking 4 years down the rabbit hole now? So crazy, crazy,
Hmm,
crazy, bro. Yeah,
crazy
man.
as hell.
Yeah, so that was an interesting little flashback, man. And um
That's good.
yeah, it hit me when I was driving past. I was like, why the fuck are all these buses out here? And then I was like, oh shit. It is late August
So
already. But yeah, man.
hmm,
So yeah, it brought me back to the inception of the brainchild, the brainchild, I guess, of the podcast, bro. So funny stuff. And then Goldberg just had to take the cake and put the final nail in the coffin there, to seal the deal for us. Oh
Goldberg, that he was on the fast lane to WrestleMania. Fucking Goldberg was the fast lane to this podcast, man.
yeah.
I'll never forget. I remember exactly where I was sitting in that class, reading that, watching that clip, reading that notification on that fucking win. Never forget.
I remember turning my phone off, and when I got off of school, it was probably about 3:30. I was in the car, and I was like, I'm gonna just play the main event of Crown Jewel because that's all I cared to see. And I actually didn't get anything spoiled for me. And man, I remember watching. Uh, I was like, oh, I'm gonna just watch the beginning of the match, or I was like, I'm gonna watch the final. I said to myself, I'm gonna watch like the final 5 minutes of the show and just see how everything went. And then I realized the match didn't start yet, and the show ended in about 5 minutes. And I said to myself, huh, is this gonna be a Fiend squash? And boy,
It
was
was a
I
team
right about a
squash.
squash. But it was not the Fiend squash. It was squashing the Fiend. It was not him doing the squashing. And man, I just remember fuming, bro. I remember fucking fuming, man. I went on a. It's probably still on my Twitter to this day, but I remember going on a heated Goldberg rant while I was sitting. While I was sitting next to my man Jose, shout out to him. I was sitting next to
Okay.
him in literature class, and he was talking to me, and I to this day have no fucking idea what he was saying to me because all I was fixated on was tweeting at Goldberg how much I hated him. So those tweets are probably still up to this day. It was the day after, had to be the day after Crown Jewel or something around there. But funny stuff, bro. Funny stuff. But man, yeah,
Hilarious, man.
crazy times. But yeah, man. As Toronto always asked, man, I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Durante, my man Hunter? OG, how the hell are you guys doing, man? Thank you guys for being here as always. You know, Durante, ah,
Who
I
knows,
I
dude?
don't I don't know what a pure fusion collective is. I don't know what a pride is. I don't know what the final testament is. I don't know what man, I don't know what a metaphor is. Um
Oh, metaphor. No quarter catch crew.
I don't,
That's one.
I don't know what a new catch republic is. Fuck. Um,
Dude, I don't know
I
any of
don't,
these things.
yeah, I don't know what an outrunners is. I don't fucking
Oh,
know, man. I don't know what a bang bang gang is. Um, I, I
I don't know what fucking what the animals. What fucking Boulder and
the
Bronson's new
animal.
name
Oh, the
tag name?
Iron Savages. The
Iron
animal.
Savages. It was something like that, bro. I don't fucking know. The Iron Savages. What's that?
Man, who fucking knows, man? New Cats Republic. The hell is that even? What? That sounds like a clothing brand. Bro,
Uh,
yeah, I mean,
Pure.
God, these factions, bro. These fucking factions, man. I will say, after hearing the promo delivery of American Made, I think it's gonna catch on. It's
I think that one's gonna catch on. I think it will.
Yeah, especially like the way Gable delivered it. Gable's just that dude, but the way he delivered it, and the way I don't know, it's coming together. But man,
It.
to address the comment of my man Hunter, bro, 2019, dude. I watched this one guy. I watch. Oh shit. There might be a couple guys I watch that make YouTube content, and I always love their videos of 2019 WWE retrospectives. I like retrospectives in general, just because it just refreshes your memory and brings you back to the good old days. But I always love when they make videos on like 2019 specifically, because like I just watched a video. It was like the Monday Night Raw era from hell. And I can't remember
Mhm.
who posted it, but I know that was like the name of the video. If you guys want to go check it out, bro. It's like a 37-minute video that brings you through the era of Monday Night Raw from like 2017 to early 2019, and it is just the funniest fucking stuff ever. Like, cuz you forgot some of that shit happened, and you like look at it
Oh,
and you watch it again and you just say to yourself, how the fuck, like honestly, how the hell did we sit through this? And I mean we made it out on the other end, guys, but holy
I don't
shit,
know
man, did
how.
it took us a minute to get there, bro. I mean, fuck. Yeah.
Which, which is so crazy because it got to a point where I gave up with WWE in like 2021.
Yep.
I was done. I was done with it. And it's going to show the level of commitment and hope we all had at the time of like 2019, because 2019 easily worse than 2021. But bro, oh my God, 2019, and it's funny looking back because, dude, it is so just weird. It looks like a different universe, WWE, when you look back to 2019.
It does.
You'll look and be like, damn, that did fucking happen. Why?
Yep. But and it's crazy to think, man, like they had all that talent and all the talent that
Oh,
was wasted. It's just
dude,
could you imagine if like Sanity was getting called up today, or like Undisputed Era was like fresh out of NXT tomorrow?
that's my big, dude, that is my biggest dream. Undisputed Era. I miss them so best. Man, to
They're
this day, I
unrecognizable now.
think. Oh, they're all unrecognizable. To this day, I think Undisputed Era was the most successful faction in modern history. Solely because they were the faction that acted like a faction the most. And I miss that so much. I miss a faction acting like a faction so much.
Yeah, I would probably say Bloodline, but they were definitely the
No,
most modern. They were definitely the most successful faction out of NXT. They weren't better than the
Bloodline.
Bloodline though.
Bloodline was in the best story. They weren't the best faction as a faction. They,
Okay, okay,
if you get what I mean by that, it's like acting as a team, and they all do their own thing. They all rule their own division.
yeah, I see what
You
you're
would get
saying.
that.
Cause,
Yeah.
yeah, I see what you're saying. Uh, mm, I think Undisputed Era was in more healthy division. Because the
Oh
Bloodline were
fuck yeah.
running their division. They
To
were,
the ground.
but their division weren't, not to the ground, but their divisions weren't impressive at all.
And there's that tag division on SmackDown or Raw.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say they ran them into the ground, but the
Yeah,
divisions
what
were in
they
the
did.
ground. The
Yeah,
divisions were in the
I'd say.
ground, but I would say that I see what you're saying, but I would say Bloodline over UE, but I see what you're saying for sure.
Yeah, I get you.
But God, just imagine, dude, them coming up, bro, in today's era, of WWE, bro. That just,
It'd
man,
be so perfect.
that would have
Adam
been.
Cole would rule the fucking company, man.
Uh,
I was watching a clip of backstage when fucking Triple H was talking to Daniel Bryan, and he goes, "Champ," and fucking Adam Cole walks up, man. Goated.
fuck.
Man, why do you have to leave, dude?
Where did the fucking
God
time go,
damn it.
bro? Where did the time go? Yes, and I mean, dude, like that. I mean, even them being around today, thinking about the possibility of them versus some of the factions now, I think would be awesome. Like American Made, like a Wyatt Six, like a Bloodline, all these kind of groups, man. I mean, it would just, especially too with Triple H kind of trying to build upon factions, bro. It really sucks that groups like them were wasted, and it was simply no fault of anybody's doing other than Vince McMahon, other than just him, just
Just him
not,
just doing this.
yeah, just not wanting to properly, build talent, and so much talent was wasted, bro. But no, I definitely hear what you're saying, man. I definitely hear what you're saying. They were a fucking great group. I miss that group. Man, I miss
Oh,
that
thank
group,
you so
bro.
much. God.
but yeah, but yeah,
Oh
they were
yeah, fucking Undisputed Kingdom.
wonderful. Yeah, that's where two of the members are. The other one's in the conglomeration. So that's what our beloved Undisputed Era is doing, man. Once upon a time, bro. Once upon a time, I definitely probably seen UE as one of the great as one. They are one of the greatest factions. They're one of my favorite factions. But yeah, if the bloodline was never a thing, they definitely would be probably one of my favorite factions of all time. They're definitely one of, but Bloodline is the for me. Um,
I
they are
get you.
they are just. I mean, man, oh, giving me goosebumps thinking of sitting here debating Bloodline and Undisputed, thinking about those two groups
Oh,
going up again.
dude,
Man, fuck.
imagine the war games we could have got between
Oh
those two,
my
man.
god, fucking
We could
man.
have got war games between those two, man. That would have been perfect.
I'll
That would
tell
have been
you,
so perfect.
I'll tell you who Undisputed Era definitely ain't better than though. It's Timu Bloodline. Timu Bloodline's got them beat. You can't put a single one of those guys up against infamous Tongaloa. You know,
Fucking Tongaloa.
he's
Oh, that man
infamous,
never
bro.
ceases to amaze me. No,
Infamous
the worst part is
Tongaloa.
he ceases to amaze me every time. He amazes me with his
Yeah,
fuck ups.
they can't
No,
shock. They can't shock infamous Tongaloa, bro. It's just it won't happen. It won't happen, bro. But
crazy.
nah,
But
man.
man,
Fuck. Good times. Good
I miss him so
times.
much.
They're so, dude. I mean, we could go, dude. I was listening to his theme song today, bro. But Killian Dane, the star that man could have been.
Man,
Oh my
he
god.
could have been a fucking star, man.
Oh my
Oh man,
god.
everything they wanted of like fucking Braun, they had
Yep.
in Killian Dane,
Yes, they
and they
did.
never did anything with it.
Oh my
Crazy.
fuck. Yeah.
Bro, I literally still have a UE armband that's a part of my desk forever.
Yeah,
Like, come on, bro.
yeah, I got mine too. I got mine. It's on my display case. My Undisputed Era armband. That was the one we got at NXT Takeover Chicago. The second one.
Second
The
one.
second one we
Yeah.
went to. Man, they were such a great group. They were such a great group, bro. And God, I miss
They
them.
are.
I
I
hope
miss
we
them
can see
so
them back
much.
one day.
Especially how factions work nowadays. They almost all suck.
Oh God. Yeah, they're definitely not coming close to infamous Tongaloa though, man. They definitely aren't. All
No.
right.
No.
Speaking of where all speaking of where all the speaking of where all the members are nowadays, um
Our favorite show of the week.
what?
Right?
Don't you love when
Is that all
OBS
matter?
Give me two
Oh.
seconds, guys. Don't you love when OBS updates and just erases my show logo image?
Oh, fun. I
Yeah.
love OBS. They never cease to amaze me either.
Oh wow, it deleted all of them.
Oh, good lord, that's great. Look at that.
Um
OBS.
yeah. You know, Sir K, well, while I do this, that would actually be that little 10-minute conversation we just had, faction over
Would have been
faction.
perfect, man.
I was that man, that would be a great
Only
that
you
would
did
be
it 10
that
minutes ago.
that would be a great bonus. That would be a great bonus episode maybe for later this year.
I'm down. Fucking
Maybe.
let's talk factions.
Yes.
Let's talk
I would love to
debates.
talk. Yeah, I would love that actually. I would love that. I would love that because you're somebody who just, even though I probably would like to talk to somebody that has like outlandishly fucking different opinions, but you have respectable opinions.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing. Me and you, we both respect each other's opinion because they're respectable opinions. If we get some dude on here talking about like, oh, LA Knight's trash or
I hate
shit
like
like
one of
that, I'm
them.
like,
One,
no,
yeah, one of those markout demons. Mm-mm.
yeah,
It
fucking
would be
marking out for fucking Beast Tardis and shit. Like, bro, I can't.
TARDIS.
I'm sorry.
More. Are you talking about the Beast Mortos?
Yes,
The
bro.
Beast TARDIS.
Like, bro, get on my face, bro. What is that?
It's the Beast TARDIS, bro. It's my guy. Um,
That was
yeah.
the old name, or it was Tardis, but it was like Tauros or something.
Well, it might. Oh, you know what? I think I do remember. I don't know.
The Black Taurus, that was his fucking old name.
Yeah, that's what his name was. That's what his name was. Wasn't he in NXT UK?
Fuck, I think he was for a little bit.
Yeah, he might
God
have
damn.
been. Or I don't fucking know. Yeah, no, it'd be all. If you guys could find us an interesting markout demon to invite in the podcast, I think that would be wildly entertaining. Um,
Uh,
to
that'd be fucking mind-boggling, the whole episode.
eh, probably so, but that would probably be wildly entertaining. But no, I think that would be pretty dope, bro. I think that would be pretty dope. Probably have to do
Maybe the
something like
worst
that,
takes
man.
ever. Man, yeah, Dynamite's been the best show for like 3 years now, man. I
Yep,
mean,
my
Raw can't
ass.
come close.
All right. Well,
Lit
speaking of
better than Raw.
speaking of okay, speaking of Dynamite, bro. Man, we got Dynamite from August the 14th. This episode emanated from Norfolk, Virginia. And
And no folk were there. They had to.
Man, that was probably your best joke in the last 3 years I've heard from you. There's not been a lot of good ones, man. But man,
But I think I'm a pretty funny guy. I think some people like my funniness.
I don't know recently. Uh,
What?
so,
Oh, here you go.
man, the
Making
sh-
fun of you.
the show opens up with Mercedes versus Sheeta in a TBS title match where the winner books their ticket to London to face Britt Baker in the TBS title match.
Wonder who that's gonna be.
We mentioned this last week on Unscripted. So you've been building a feud with Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker, and you expect me to fucking believe Hikaru Shida has any chance of coming in here and winning this?
Like, dude, this is some Vince shit, bro. What are you doing here? Oh, in a big feud with somebody. Let me put the champion that's in a feud in a title match a couple weeks before the show. I'm sure the fans will think that his opponent has a chance. What?
I mean,
Like,
come on, man. So, Camille, while the ref is looking away, Camille hits Hikaru Shida, throws her in the ring, and Britt Baker, Mercedes, rather, wins the match. Mercedes wins the match, and she is confronted by Britt Baker's music. Camille runs up on the ramp. She's looking to see if anybody's coming from the top of the ramp. She sees somebody in a Sting mask, very reminiscent of how Britt was the week before, or a couple weeks ago when Britt was in the crowd with the Sting mask on. She attacks this person. Britt, instead of running through the crowd like fucking Adam Cole did and take over Brooklyn 3 to actually make it look like he cares about the run-in, or not even Adam Cole, I don't know, anybody that cares to have a good run-in segment, Britt just comes walking through the fucking crowd like she's John Moxley,
like,
gets in the ring, and she just has the most sloppy, uncoordinated attack on Mercedes ever. I mean, it looked like me and my cousin when I was fucking 8 years old out there trying to fucking put on a banger. I mean, it's just the most uncoordinated thing ever. Nobody has proper footing. Nobody knows how to do the fucking moves correctly. We're all just out there slopping around. She finally gets her into a lockjaw. Camille is on the outside, grabbing Mercedes' leg, trying to pull her, as if Britt doesn't have her in the rings of Saturn, and she kind of can't get out because her arms are trapped. And so Camille has to hop in the ring and nudge Britt Baker off of her before she could put in the lockjaw, and that was that. How did this go from week one, looking like one of the best things AEW had going into All In, to just being this fucking slop fest? Nobody cares, no effort, no heat behind this feud. I mean, how did we go, like I said, from that to that?
like, what's going on here, bro? It's become the most generic feud in the world. Oh, I don't like this person. I'm just gonna attack them out there. I'm just gonna talk. It's all it is. Talking shit, someone attacks. That's all it is.
You know, I, I don't get it, bro. I don't get it, man. I really don't. I don't understand how people clamor that these are the two best in the AEW women's division. Some people even say these two are the best in the world. And this is all they can
No,
fucking give us? Here's the
like,
fucking news flash for you. Neither of these two
dang.
are the fucking best in the division, in their own company, let alone the fucking world.
God, no, man. Literally, the other big woman story is the much bigger, better woman story. 10 times better.
Yep. And that's the thing. This shit started off with this stuff started off so good and with so much promise and looked like one of the things and one of the feuds that we were all going to look at this year's AEW All In and be like, "Yo, That build was legit. It feels like these two hate each other. It feels like there's legit animosity here, and it's panning out on TV. And I expect that from Mercedes because she's a professional. She did the shit with Alexa Bliss. Those two hated each other. What do you know? They turned out good feuds, good matches. It was all good. Here we are with Britt Baker. And what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares to put in any effort. And why is that?
Literally, like you'd think they would try to be one up in each other in quality. Nope. They're just going out there to just get the job done and go home. Can anybody work together in this company?
Come on, man. So that's that. The match was okay. I don't know the point of it. I don't. And again, the attack afterwards, I mean, it is just the most sloppy, uncoordinated attack ever. I mean, it looked horrible. It looked horrible. It
No,
looked like they went out there to do their job and go home and put minimal effort involved. So,
oh, 100%. That's all it was.
Adam Page gets a pre-match attack in on Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal before his match with Jay Lethal. He beats Jay Lethal with a buckshot and what was a pretty good match, but I mean,
Well, bitch.
yeah, I mean, it was a good Dynamite match, and that was that was it.
All about it. It's already going back to that was a good match, and that's it.
Yeah. Yep. MJF and Will Ospreay, they had a video package showing what MJF has been doing, was doing that past weekend at indie shows against Michael Oku, hyping up his match at All In, which I think they showed that because they want to bring Michael Oku and his fiance in. I've heard that. I've heard that they want to bring those two in, being that I get one of the bigger names nowadays on the British indie scene. So I definitely think they showed that footage to open
Give
the
like a
door for
test
him
run.
coming in. Yep.
Yeah, get a feeler out for what the fans think. I didn't even notice that, to be honest, so didn't do a very good job at it.
I'm dead. Yeah. Um. So that was that. Um. That was that, and then Pac. This was one of my favorite parts of AEW Dynamite. Man, and all for all the wrong reasons, by the way.
Just get out of here.
He's in the back, and he says he's the real number one contender for the international, I mean American championship, not Will Ospreay. He says Ospreay went behind his back, stormed into Tony's office, and sanctioned himself the number one contender. What?
Bro, Tony, what did you think you just did, bro? Because either TV wise,
Oh
either
man.
canonically, Pac is telling the truth, or he's not, and Tony Khan just gave it to him anyway. You're not making a good look here, bro. Ugh, that is
He
great. That is hilarious.
so with that logic, if anybody wins a number one contender match, as long as you go behind the person's back who just won number one contendership, as long as you go behind their back and sanction yourself to Tony Khan as the number one contender, you can be the number one contender. So with that logic, I can storm into gorilla position or goat position, whatever the fuck they call it. I can look around the corner, lunge at Tony Khan behind his fucking desk, and I could say to him, I know Danielson just won the tournament, but I'm the fucking number one contender for the AEW championship. And I'm
Look,
just
man,
the
look,
number one contender because I sanctioned myself and I went behind Brian's back.
like, how does that work, bro? Like,
Uh,
what?
uh,
Ah, that is probably the worst excuse they could have fucking went with to not have his match at all in. You could have done anything else, and you didn't. You made it so either Will Ospreay looks like an absolute workout demon for himself, or that Tony Khan looks like a workout demon for Will Ospreay, which he is. So we know which one they went with.
he says he's tired of this corrupt place. He's tired of being
Well, you know,
overlooked, manipulated, and treated like a bum.
fuck,
He
me
says
too.
that was his ticket to Wembley. But it's okay because I'm sanctioning myself to face the winner of the All In match at the same arena where I beat Kenny Omega 5 years ago. I want to face the winner of MJF and Osprey at All Out.
Oh yeah, man. I don't get to fight in front of what's supposed to be about 80,000. Only is about like 45,000
Oh
people.
man.
But fuck it, dude. I'll go wrestle in front of 15. That'll show them I fucking made my mark. Dog,
Not to
that is the
mention,
saddest shit.
yeah, not to mention his whole Wembley moment. I mean, he didn't get to wrestle at Wembley last year
He
because
doesn't get to.
I don't know. He might have been injured or something. Yeah, he was injured. He got injured at Blood and Guts like a month before. He got injured there, wasn't able to do Wembley, and then after that, you know, they it looked like they're finally gonna put him on Wembley this year because, you know, he's kind of from there, and it just seemed like the thing to do. Um, he talks about getting this Wembley moment, and instead of maybe just building up to some sort of open challenge or whatever, they put him in the international title picture without knowing what the fuck they were doing. Why would you have a number one contender match knowing that you have a feud going on for that championship right now that is more
And you
than
don't.
likely gonna bring you to All In?
Exactly. Like, what were you thinking, bro? You like you said, you could use Pop for anything. Fucking open challenge to, for Ricochet or something. Maybe Ricochet show. You had a free card right there to do whatever you want, and you fucking booked yourself into the corner of All Out. Poor Pac, man. This man. Yeah,
That was my ticket to Wembley, but it's okay.
it's okay.
You
No,
talked
it's not.
about your Wembley moment so much, and now you just say it's okay.
You just don't get it, and it's okay. It's whatever.
What the fuck? I
That,
mean,
that makes that makes Wembley looks great. And he doesn't get his Wembley moment, but it's okay. It's whatever. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I didn't get my WrestleMania moment, but it's
Yeah.
I
I
I got
won't
my
be on
backlash
WrestleMania.
moment.
I'll just yeah I'll be on Backlash. It's fine. Yeah, yeah, it's all
It's
good.
fine. It's still same thing. Like, bro,
Oh my god.
uh, fuck, man.
So yeah, Pac was the number one contender. Osprey went behind his back, sanctioned himself the number one contender, and Pac is okay with it because he wants the winner at All Out.
He's probably gonna lose.
Oh Lord, we get a pretty
Imagine with
cool.
Ed Neville
Oh,
back in
oh
Triple H.
God.
Dude,
Oh,
man can dream.
Cody needs people, bro. Cody needs people. He needs people to
And
face. He needs
face
some. He
the
needs some
king,
monster
dude.
heels. Man,
Imagine the king in the King of the Ring, bro. Come on, dog. Come
Oh,
on.
oh God. Don't get me started, bro. Don't fucking get me started. Man. Neville versus fucking Dragunov? Come on, dude. Come on, bro.
Uh,
Oh,
versus like Braun Breaker. Man, come
God.
on, dude. I need it, bro. I need it.
Yikes, dude. That would be. Man.
It'd be so.
We get a pretty cool Darby Allin cinematic promo.
Mm.
He says years ago on the Independence, he's killing himself for absolutely nothing, and he thought, "What is the end game for Darby Allin?" He heard about AEW starting, and it's a place where you can actually be yourself. He says he knew he had to stop at nothing to be there in AEW. He's living in his car, and he got a news update that AEW signed Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And I thought to myself, who the fuck is Jungle Boy Jack Perry? And then it hit me. AEW is a place where the elite are going to hire their friends. And it's cool. He did a couple of indies in California, but did he really have to sacrifice much to get to AEW? And it's a good thing after all these years you can finally be yourself. Because what was Jungle Boy? Nobody believed in that Tarzan bullshit. But it's cool because you're actually yourself now, which is a child who takes everything for granted. Who takes everything for granted. He doesn't think Jack understands how important a place like AEW is, because if so, he would treat it with respect. Darby says every week he goes out there and he kills himself because he does not take anything for granted. He says last year, after all the dumb shit Perry pulled, I know AEW marks were a little upset
Mm.
over Darby Allin kind of taking CM Punk's side there a little bit. Um,
My boy. I respect it.
um, he says, um, he says, after all the dumb shit Perry pulled, he really wishes he got fired because nobody would miss him. Not the fans, not me. He asked Jack, "What do you add to AEW?" I think that about a lot of people on that fucking roster. Um,
Poor
he says,
Jack, dude.
"What do you add to AEW?" He says, "At Wembley, I am going to put this to an end." Love the cinematic shots here. I think Darby is just
He's the
incredible.
best at that shit.
I mean, WWE. I know he's an AEW lifer, and I think AEW fits Darby Allin. But his production value, man, WWE would love something like that. I would
Oh, I
think.
love that guy.
I would think. Because you know,
I think they would like him.
WWE does like to get their hands on everything, but if I was Darby Allin and I ever thought about going there, I would definitely get that in writing that they
Like,
couldn't
touch
really
my
fuck
shit.
with mess with my production or stuff like that, because he had like some like sad and not sad, I guess like slower kind of just ominous piano music playing in the background, and he had this really aggressive delivery. His promo was taking place in like a dark like park area. And it just, I
Yeah.
mean, it looked great, man. It looked great. Meanwhile, the B-roll shots were of like him just like skateboarding in the middle of the night and like a city street, and I mean, it looked incredible, man. It really did. It looked incredible. But
Oh, it's
um,
dope, dude. Darby's great at that shit. Like what Adam Copeland was talking about, how Darby helped him film his vignettes when he was coming in. They were just cruising down the projects, just filming that shit.
just
Like
going
that shit's
90
just
down the
dope.
fucking side street.
Wild. Fucking no permits or nothing, just doing this shit. Like Darby's a very artsy person, and as long as you put it in your contract, be like, hey, don't fuck with my shit. I think they would really like him though. I think he would bring a lot of, attention to them. He would be their modern Jeff Hardy. So I think they would kill for that.
Very true. Very true. And I think, yeah, I mean, fans already take very, very well to Darby Allin. He's a very likable guy. So Darby goes to go for his entrance. He goes to make his entrance, and Jack Perry attacks him as Darby's kneeling on the top of the ramp. Jack comes up with a flying knee. Him and Darby brawl to the back, and he slides the garage door down on Darby's chest. When I tell you this door slid down so slow, and Darby had to sit there and sell that shit, like the door just fell on him, and the door just slowly rippled down and kind of just laid on his chest. Um, Jack then went to drive a production crate into Darby's head while he was laying on the ground, and security stopped him. Security got in the way and pushed the crate out of the way. Jack Perry's then getting held back by security, and he challenges Darby to a coffin match at All In. I think that should be pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. It's a Derby staple, man. And I'm down for it. I like it. I like what they did here.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely, man. So yeah, it was confirmed that we will be getting a coffin match at All In for the TNT Championship with Jack Perry and Darby Allin. This stuff was pretty good. Um, did you see Jack Perry's new TNT title?
I did, and I thought it was all right at first, and then I saw, the video that Jack Perry posted, and that just makes me like it a whole lot more. I actually dig it now.
Absolutely, yeah. From the moment I seen it, I thought it was really cool, and then I seen the video that he made it
Mhm.
himself.
He
Um,
literally forged it himself. That's fucking dope.
yeah, which is pretty cool, bro. That's pretty cool that he was able to do that. I think all the textures look nice. I did want to pull up pictures to show you guys, but they have yet to release like any close-ups on it. Um,
Yeah.
but it's very nice, man. It's very nice. It's like black metal, and it's kind of shaved down on the TNT part to kind of be a little silver, and then with like
Mhm.
a splash of like red paint on it. So that looked really cool. And then the strap is just very just textury, almost kind of textury, like a almost like a
It's-
beat up Jeepers Creepers kind of trench coat texture.
Yeah. Like
Um,
very weathered and worn. I like it.
yeah, it looks really nice. It looks really nice, and I think it fits Jack. And I hate that they made us wait this long to get it. He's had the TNT title for almost 2 months. Um,
Right?
at
Now
yeah
you
at the
finally fucking do it.
yeah at the end of June. So yeah, Forbidden Door. He's almost had it for 2 months. I wish we would have got it a little sooner. But nonetheless, man, I think it's really great, and I like it. I always like when they do custom belts for the TNT title. I just hate how they take forever to do the custom belt.
They take forever, and they only have the custom belt for like a little bit of the reign, and then it just ends. And then the person, it's like, do it at the start while you're planning ahead, which you should do, which Tony Khan doesn't really do. You make the title before the win or right after the win, so that it's almost immediately they have their custom title. It's not that hard. It's really not.
Yeah, not at all. It's really not. No, I liked it a lot, man. I liked it a lot. I thought I thought the new belt looked great. I did. Um,
And, definitely.
so Mariah May does a premiere. Um, the video starts off in black and white uh, with the slow, Tony Storm kind of classical LA Noir music playing in the background. She turns around and she says, "We're not doing this shit." Which AEW Sound censored the word shit by playing the crowd sound instead of bleeping or muting it. You just heard just like a generic crowd sound as the mute for the word shit. Um,
That'd be one of the worst ways I've seen of censorship ever.
oh
I
my
don't want to hear
god.
people. Maybe like if it's an in-ring promo, that's all
Yeah,
right. But in a
a
vignette,
yeah,
you're
a
kidding
fucking
me.
vignette.
Oh, the fuck?
Dude, it's some this this forget Tongaloa, bro. The sound guy is infamous, bro. AEW
Is
sound guy is really infamous.
That dude is absolute dog shit at his fucking job. Whoever that
Man.
is, you should be ashamed of yourself and your entire family because you fuck up every week. It's ass. Fucking get rid of him, dude.
Dude. So Mariah, who's in sort of like a dark bedroom with like a light, maybe like moonlight shining in on her. Another great setting. Another great setting. I really enjoyed the setting here. It was just very dark, very eerie, very just kind of unsettling. Yeah, just like um yeah, like I said, just it seemed like she was just in a dark room with no lights on, with like just natural moonlight shining in on her, and it looked really nice. She says, she asked if it is better to be remembered, or to be forgotten, um, to be put in the ground or to go up in flames, to be me or to be you. She says last year she failed at Wembley. Talking about Tony, obviously. She copied her successes, and none of Mariah says she copied her successes, but none of her mistakes. She says this year at All In, it is all about Mariah, and Tony's greatest mistake was being alive at the same time as she is. She says she wanted to be a star, and now it's time for her to burn. She says Tony will obsess over her until she dies, and Mariah will forget all about her. She says one day she will look out the window and wonder, whatever happened to Tony Storm? She says, don't worry, darling, they're both going to die. I will just get to write your eulogy, as she's burning the Mariah and Tony AEW merchandise. As always, this is great.
Mm.
I wish they would have a little bit more one-on-one interactions with each other instead of every time they see each other they just fight. Because Mariah's delivery mixed with timeless Tony's delivery. I know recently we've been getting kind of like this angry Tony Storm. If we were to go back to kind of getting the timeless Tony and her delivery, man, I think her and Mariah would mesh very well. But yeah, I
They
mean,
would.
this was great. This was great. I just think the one thing that's pulling this feud down is just every time they see each other, a word can't be spoken. It just has to be all brawl, which sucks.
Exactly. It's okay to talk to the person that you hate. It's okay. You don't have to fight every single time you see them. Um, so that could definitely be changed in this. But other than that, dude, fucking phenomenal, dude. It's great. The package quality, great, man. And I can't wait to see these two at All In.
Definitely. Um, Mina, Mina Shirakawa is on Dynamite. So immediately when I see Mina, I'm thinking to myself, why didn't she go out in the ring and call Tony and Mariah out
Mhm.
there to talk about this?
Like,
Like
I I don't get it.
maybe a little more something, bro. But Renee asked her. If she's talked to Tony or Mariah. She says no. She hasn't heard from either of them. She's heartbroken over what happens, but she hopes that nobody gets hurt. Nobody gets seriously hurt. Um,
Like, you have the perfect middleman here. Why don't you use him to get those two to talk?
yeah, I was just gonna say, man, why? Uh, yeah, as soon as I seen Mina, I'm thinking to myself, why did we just see a Mariah May like after this match? Or sorry, after Tony's match on this week's episode of Dynamite, I don't understand why Mariah couldn't have just. I don't understand why Mariah couldn't have just like did what she did on this episode of Dynamite, her video premiere after Tony's match, as like a vignette to Tony after she wins her match or whatever. And then on this episode of Dynamite, you could have had Mina trying to orchestrate and maybe stop this from happening. You know what I mean? Or to maybe at least stop these two from hating each other so much. But then obviously it would all go up in flames. But like Sir K said, man, they had the perfect middleman here, and
it's like, bro.
Yeah, I mean they didn't do anything. So I don't understand. But Orange Cassidy versus, speaking of your boys, this is what they're doing now. Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong are fighting for the number 1 spot in the Casino Battle Royale. You mean to tell me the last spot, which I'm assuming is the Joker, the spot that everybody loves to wait for, the final entrant in the Battle Royal, either goes to Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, or Roderick Strong?
It's like, whatever happened to using that as your crutch for surprises? It was great.
Kyle O'Reilly has an arm breaker in on Roddy. As he's sitting in the arm breaker position, OC backslides him and wins the match. Okay. I have no words for this. I don't know what to say here. It's
Orange Cassidy, I guess. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that was that. The match was okay, but yeah, Orange Cassidy wins the number 1 spot in the Casino Battle Royal. Wonderful.
Why?
Yeah. Claudio and Okada have a face-to-face. Claudio.
For some reason.
Yeah. Well, we find out here. Claudio says he always felt like the Continental title was his to lose because he fought so hard in the Continental Classic and it bothered him that he lost. He says next week in Cardiff, Wales, he plans to make his title shot count when he faces Okada on Dynamite. So are we leaving Okada off of the match? Is it going to be Okada versus Jon Moxley maybe? Maybe Mox is going to come back since he's cool with Claudio and declare. Maybe he's going to sanction himself. He's going to go behind everyone's back and sanction himself against Okada.
Gonna go behind Claudio's back and do it. Like, what? You leave Okada off All In. You treat us. You already gave him a title. You treat him as like your biggest signing ever. You're gonna leave him off your biggest pay-per-view?
I do not know why we just didn't do Okada versus Adam Page.
You could. I don't know why they're waiting for All Out. Just do it at All In. It's a better thing to do it at All In.
Yep. You could have did Page versus Okada, and then obviously Swerve and Bryan, and then once Swerve drops the title to Bryan, Okada will obviously beat Hangman. You just go, and we all know they're going to do Hangman and Swerve at All Out. So you just do that and then have Pac face whoever, and then maybe you have Pac face a Claudio at All Out or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
something.
So Okada says, fine speech. You're very passionate. And he starts flexing. He starts flexing his chest. He says he's the greatest tournament wrestler of all time. He's a 4-time G1 winner. And he will respect him. Good luck, bitch. Claudio.
G1 4 times.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like, oh, Lord.
Oh, man. Fuck that, dude. God. That sounds miserable.
The production on this was quite horrible, I have to say. Okada walks away. And then Claudio decides to cut this fiery promo in front of Okada as if he's not a fucking earshot away. I know damn well he can still hear him. Instead of pulling Okada back or, yelling at him, get back here or whatever, he waits for Okada to walk away, and then he looks down the hard cam and he says, I really hope I don't get the EVP lackey want to make my friends laugh version of Okada. Next week, I want to get the Rainmaker. I want to get the 4-time G1 winner, the Tokyo Dome main event Okada, because I'm going to bring my best next week. And Okada will have 99 problems, and this bitch will be one. So you decide to cut this fiery promo after Okada walked away. And when he's standing in front of you, you're talking about hoping to make your title shot count and how hard you fought in this Continental Classic. And then when he walks away, you want to get fired up.
Like, bro, say it to his face. Now you gave that fire-ass promo. I'm thinking, that's fire promo. Be a pussy for not doing it in his face. That's all I'm thinking. What are you doing here? Do it to his face. That's what a promo is. I want to see promos like that. Where people are face to face cooking each other.
Yep.
God.
I don't know. Hook is out here for an interview. He says, listen, bro, no shade on Hook. We got to get him in the fucking Performance Center, man. We need to get him in fucking promo class. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
He needs to be in pauses and shit. Like, bro, get him in the PC.
Yeah, his cadence is very off. His delivery is very rough on the mic. Very rough. He says he can't see out of my left eye. Or he says, I can't see out of my left eye. But Jericho's problem is the other one still works. And he wants to fight him for the FTW title tonight. So get your ass out here.
Get your ass out here.
Okay.
Like, dog, come on, what are you doing here?
Jericho comes out. And he says, hi, guys. Hi, Hook. He says Hook is still one dumb son of a bitch. Because after we threw a fireball in your face, you still want to fight us. He then asks him if he wants to fight. Jericho starts taking his jacket off, and then he says, no, Norfolk is not worth the time, but Wembley Stadium. Come the fuck on, man. Are you serious, bro? Norfolk is not worth his time, but Wembley Stadium is. Great. Way to put a damper on, honestly, what looks like a great card.
Yeah. And
way to make it look like shit.
Fucking hell, man. God.
He says, he says he'll give him a title shot at All In, but there's a couple caveats he has to agree to his match at Wembley. There we go with the labors of Jericho. Again.
Every time.
Yeah. Wembley, he says there's a couple caveats for him to get his match at Wembley, and if he loses, this will be his final match for the FTW Championship. And he will have to walk out of the Jericho Vortex forever.
Oh,
I might fucking lose on purpose at that fucking point.
Yeah, pin me, brother. Please.
Yeah, seriously. I'm pulling an Austin Aries, bro. I'm taking the finish and I'm getting right up afterwards and I'm running. I'm getting on a first fucking flight class out of London to Orlando, Florida, if I'm Hook.
Quite literally, dude.
So he says he'll have to walk out of the vortex forever. Next week in Cardiff, he has to face Big Bill. Big Bill says he's going to beat him down and shove him straight up Taz's ass. Brian Keith grabs the mic and yells, straight up his ass.
I feel so bad for fucking for Big Cass, dude. This man's a piece of shit.
This ends good. This is the problem with this match. This ends good. Excuse me. There's no way this ends good. Either option here is bad because either Jericho wins and we have to continue seeing Learning Tree on our TV, or I guess the only good that comes out of that is I guess we would know at that point Hook is as probably good as gone in AEW.
Hopefully, man. God, I hope so.
And
if he wins, then not only is he not going from AEW, but he's just back being the FTW champion, doing nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. And if he wins, he goes right back into doing the same thing Tony Khan will ever see him as FTW champion.
That's all. That's it. That's all.
So Jericho says if he can agree to that, he'll see him at Wembley. He says, thanks, Hook, thanks. Hook says he's looking forward to dumping Big Bitch on his big ass head. Yeah, get him in the PC, bro. That is how I used to talk in middle school.
Literally,
how old is this guy? He's got to be around my age. Probably he might even be a little older than us. I mean,
literally. Like, dog, what are you? I'm gonna dump Big Bill on it. He's a big bitch. What? I'm gonna dump Big Bitch. Good Lord. Jesus. Please call the PC, dog.
Oh my
Please.
God. The potential on him is crazy.
Beast.
And
like,
man,
come on.
WWE is going to play to his strengths way better than AEW has in this whole entire time. He says he's gonna dump. Yeah, he says he's gonna dump Big Bitch on his big ass head, and he's looking forward to tearing Chris Jericho limb from limb at Wembley. Okay.
Right. Hope you fail, so you leave.
Yeah, me too. The Bucks versus the Acclaimed in a tag title match. Nobody cared about this match. Nobody. There wasn't a soul that was alive that cared about this match.
Fucking wasted it on a random Dynamite.
Is this the first time we're seeing this?
I probably not, if I'm guessing with the size of their tag division, but they're wasting their title spot that they won on a random Dynamite, at least.
Matt Jackson grabs one of the tag belts, and he goes to hit, I believe, Bowens with it. Dax comes out, grabs the belt from Matt Jackson's arms. Matt spits in his face. Dax then hits him with a double leg takedown and gets them disqualified. So the Young Bucks win via disqualification. Christopher Daniels then says FTR versus Acclaimed on Collision, two-face Bucks at All In for the World Tag Team Championships. And on Collision, I believe it ended in a no contest, which I seen Mr. Harwood was going off on a Twitter rant because nobody cared about the match, but he'll only listen if you've done something in the business, even though he acknowledges fans on Twitter. Obviously, you care what.
Well, he's a sucker, dude. I feel again. Me and you were talking about it in the car the other night, but man, I feel so bad for Cash, bro. I feel
FTR
so
gun.
bad.
I do.
FTR gun, he don't do nothing. Well, besides flash his gun, but at least not like in the wrestling world, bro. He don't do nothing. He just goes to work, puts on the best he could, and goes home, bro.
He's great.
Like dog. He's great. He is, dude. And he's fucking stuck with fucking Dax fucking
Cringewood.
sorry ass, dude. Literally, dude. Just being a fucking sorry little bitch on Twitter all day. Like, dude, what are you doing here, bro?
Yeah, I seen
I'm
him.
getting bringing up JD.
I this is the first thing I see when I load up Twitter of why would I listen to some sorry son of a bitch or something when he hasn't done anything in the business. Okay, so with that, you know, you can't ever go out to a restaurant and complain about the food because somebody worked hard to make this food. So it can't be bad. Or you go to the theater and you watch a movie and you can't say, damn, that movie kind of fucking sucked because, somebody worked hard to act on that movie. Again, we're not
Like,
saying like, and this is something I used to say all the time when I used to listen to Dax's podcast, but it's just like you can't fucking sit there and harp on fans for not liking something. I mean, it's you can't. Like it's you chose to be in this form of entertainment where criticism comes with it. You know
hmm
how many
exactly.
I mean, again, not to
Mm-hmm.
compare us, but I mean, we're at a much smaller scale than he is. But like, bro, we get people all the fucking time that come in comment sections, whether it's after the show or in the live, and they say that we suck, or they say that we're redditors, or they say that we're uh, no. That one Eric Young, Mark, he that's what he told us, man. We're redditors,
God,
or
dude.
we're racist, or we're this or we're that. It's just like it comes with the form of entertainment, but at the end of the day, if you like, bro, it
That's all we
none
do.
of it matters. Like, bro, again, anybody could come in this chat and say fucking anything, but it's just like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like these people don't know you, and it's just like it's also a form of like if somebody don't like what you did, oh well. Like you're never gonna please everybody, bro. But if you do shit that you like, bro, people will gravitate towards you, and people like people will attach yourself to you because I mean, if you're yourself, you're more likely to be relatable if you're yourself, and again, people will gravitate towards you than if you than if not. But it's just like, bro, if you're in this form of entertainment, or if you're in any form of entertainment, content creation, sports, media, whatever, you are always going to get people that don't like it, and it is okay. But to go out and
It's
call
fun.
people sorry bitches, paid podcasters, I mean, dude, does it really upset you that fucking bad? Like, because if that's the case,
I
you
don't
might
think it's
need to
gonna
find
work
a
for
new
you, bro.
fucking profession, bro. Because again, like, nobody said that you guys were like bad performers or something. It's just look at your tag division. If you're that tone deaf, if it upsets you that bad that people don't like what you're doing because your division sucks, if you take that as some sort of personally driven hatred towards you as a human being, I mean, Lord. I mean, again, people come in here all the time and tell us that our show sucks or whatever, but at the end of the day, A, these people don't know me, and B, It's not a personal thing. You don't like our show, you don't like what we do. Okay, go watch somebody fucking else. I'm not fucking
That's
losing
how.
sleep over it. Like what? What?
Yeah, that's how any team it works, bro. You're gonna get hate. You're gonna get people that don't like what you're doing, and guess what? Who cares? You like, uh, uh, I don't get it. Dax is such a big fucking baby when it comes to fucking criticism, this and that, arguing with people on fucking Twitter about this and that. Like, bro, just go home, do what you gotta do, and go to work and do what you gotta do. And people will love you for it, dude. I mean, you don't see fucking Malachi Black on Twitter every day complaining about this, that, and whatever. You know, I still like the guy. You know what I mean? It just shut up and do your job. And yeah, people are gonna complain. At the end of the day, that's how life is. Fucking even without the entertainment, you're at work, people are gonna complain about you. Oh well, who cares? That's
Yeah.
just the way the world works.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Literally, first thing I do, I load up Twitter to, let everybody know that the podcast is up on all platforms. And the first fucking tweet I see is from him. And he's talking about like I said, somebody being a sorry son of a bitch, or somebody shut your ass up this, or the, because they didn't like the match. And then I found out who it was, and I'm like, Jesus,
Mm.
dude, are you really that upset about that? Like, does it really irk you that bad, man? Because like, I
It
mean,
does, dude.
what?
That shit gets to a soul, man.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, and then they always like to pull the card. We're out there killing ourselves for you, bro. Nobody said that you were a bad performer or anything like that. And again, if you're that tone deaf and if you can't see that tag division, I'm sorry. I don't care how hard anybody works. I'm sure they work very hard on the tag division or whatever the case is. It don't really matter how hard they're working right now because they can work their asses off. All you have to do is have eyeballs to see
Mm.
that tag division is dead. And if you take that personally, you got to take that up with Tony Khan, bro, because he's the one booking the tag division like shit. And the reason FTR came to AEW was because the tag division was great. And at the end of the
And
day, the fact of the matter is, tag division is unrecognizable from when they came into the company. And if you don't like that, don't take it up with the fans, take it up with your fucking boss.
like, dude, an attack on your booking, dude. Pro wrestlers, you attack their booking, you're attacking their family, bro, because they clap back like you are fucking biggest babies, dude.
They're fucking babies, man. And like the my man, my teacher, that's oh always coming to our defense on Twitter, man. My
Bro.
boy, um, we were talking one time, and he was telling me how he hates that all these wrestlers, man, they just come off as just fucking marks for themselves, and it's just like,
Like,
eh,
no one cares about you that much, bro.
I don't
You ain't
know.
that good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's I don't know. Somebody doesn't care about your match because your tag division is dead. Oh well, bro, take it on the chin. Talk to Tony about it. I'm not the one booking the tag division.
Exactly. Talk to your goddamn boss, buddy. It's that simple.
So both of the teams got the match. It's gonna be Acclaimed versus FTR versus Young Bucks. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I mean it's okay. I mean I really didn't know what else you were gonna do, but I'll say this: I don't know what they're gonna do after this. I genuinely have no clue what they are going to do after the
After all,
after all in. But I'll tell you what, if and to be honest, bro, I know the homegrown AEW audience that they love Dax because he bleeds AEW. He comes off as such a goon on social media, bro. You might as well turn them back heel. I mean, them as a baby face is so fucking corny. It's so corny.
it had potential, dude, but Dax just made everything so fucking corny. You gotta make them bad guys at this point.
At this point, I think they would come off a lot better. I think they would, but I don't know what you got to do. But I don't know, whatever it is. I'm sure Dax is going to be going on social media complaining about something. So
Oh, you know it. When won't he? He always will.
yeah. Yeah. So that kind of annoyed me when I see it. I always hate when they come at fans for just having an opinion. I mean,
Like,
like my analogy, I mean with the fast food or with the movies, it's just like, okay, so next time you go out to eat, don't say shit about your food. Don't say, man, food sucks today, man. They must have had a different cook from when we came the other day and the food was fire. Don't say that because somebody worked hard to make you that meal, or
exactly.
yeah, don't
You're
talk
not a chef, so
exactly. Don't talk shit about that movie because somebody worked hard and worked hard to act in that movie. Like, yeah, I'm not saying that they didn't fucking work hard. I'm not saying that. I didn't like the movie or I didn't like the food. I mean, come on,
it's what
dude.
it is.
It,
Like, dog.
fucking babies, bro. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I mean, at this point, I just don't understand why wrestlers don't. And two, it's always the wrestlers that are the most respected wrestlers are the ones that just stay quiet. I mean, if you look down
It's
the
all good.
line of some of the most respected people in the business, 90% out of the times it's not the ones that kind of hang out on social media and kind of just
Yeah.
hang out and
Bitch and complain.
complain all day on Twitter. I mean,
Not
it is what
them.
it is.
Unless you're CM Punk, which you know you're a big fan of him, Dax, but you ain't him, bruh. So,
Yeah.
come on.
Well, at least CM Punk does it on live press conferences, not really a
No,
Twitter guy.
it's not a Twitter goon. He's just a backstage goon, and that gets him money. At least do it backstage, buddy.
Exactly. They played a Brian Danielson video package recapping his career, playing "Good Riddance" by Green Day. And at the end of the video package, bro, they played the line from from one of my favorite WWE promos of his. If you fight for your dreams will fight for you. They played that.
Man,
It was in the video
that's great.
package, bro, from that promo back in 2018. That put a huge smile on my face. I thought that was awesome. And then we went right into the main event, which was Swerve and Wheeler Yuta. They're really trying to pull the strings to make you think Brian is done, but being that they played that video,
I think, I think, and I hope he's got it.
I think so. I think so. Swerve defeated Wheeler Yuta via referee stoppage. Um, via referee stoppage, man. Brian was in the front row. Swerve hit him with a house call, and he put his knees on Wheeler's shoulders and was just punching him until the referee called for a stop. Brian then jumps in and chases off Swerve. Swerve gets to the top of the ramp, and he says, Swerve says, he told Brian last week he's going to show him that he's the most dangerous man in AEW, and that is an example. That is an example of what I'm going to do to you at All In. And if you're going to bring your family, I want them right where you sat and watched what I did to Yuta, because I'm going to do the same thing to you in front of your daughter. And then you're going to fulfill your promise of retiring, because I'm going to force you into retirement, and then I'm going to cripple you. And he walks off. Brian,
Man,
checking on Wheeler Yuta, turns his back to Swerve. Swerve then runs in the ring and house calls Brian. And then he, as Brian is laying there, Swerve is doing Swerve is doing the yes chant. He's doing the yes chant, bro. So, man, what did you think about this whole last segment here on Dynamite?
It was really good, man. I thought it was really good. I love the Brian story, man. I love what they've been doing. I love that inclusion with that video package of, the old clips and whatnot. I really want to know how they got the rights to do that shit. And maybe they just asked, maybe like promo stuff like that might be free domain in its own way, or maybe maybe who knows, man. But very interesting. But I love it, dude. I love the story with Brian that they're telling, the possible retirement. They're really showing that up, and I think they're doing a good job with that. And at the end of the day, I'm excited, but also a little nervous for All In because Brian could lose. There is a chance that Brian loses and retires, and that's just fucking insane, man. Um, but I think with the way it's going, I think Brian might have it, dude. I think they're putting all that stock, they're putting all that energy into him, and I think he's gonna do it, man. He's getting hyped up. He's being all. What did Jeff Jarrett tell him? Stop thinking, stop overthinking, lock in and win that title, man. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
what he's gonna do, man. And for his career, I think that's what he's gonna do.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. I definitely think that will be the case for sure. I definitely think that will be the case, man. And yeah, I enjoyed the last bit of Dynamite. I like the promo from Swerve, and then I like Brian turning his back and Swerve kind of doing the yes chant. I think Yeselmania might come alive
Might
one more
become one.
time for
Because wasn't
Brian.
he trying to? Wasn't he trying to get the rights to that too?
He
The
was. He
yes
was.
stuff. Didn't
Yeah,
he get it?
he did.
I
Yeah,
think.
he did.
Yeah. So got it for a reason, I think.
Yeah. So yes, I definitely think the yes movement or Yeselmania will come alive for Brian again one more time at All In, and I think it's gonna be great, man. I think it's going to be great. So that was the ending of Dynamite, man. Overall, pretty good show, dude. Overall, pretty good show. Um, they did announce some stuff next week for Dynamite, which was Tony Storm defending the AEW Women's Title against Soraya. I mean, we'll talk.
Who's gonna win?
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it next week, dude. But I mean, what? Um, so I don't know, bro. But that was AEW Dynamite, and like I said, man, there was some decent stuff going all in, man. But yeah, just a week that just felt very lifeless going into All In. Other than the Brian and Swerve stuff, that was pretty good, man. A lot of the stuff just felt very lifeless, like I said. So I don't know.
It really did, dude. It really did. It was a very, very lifeless show.
Yeah. Um, I almost called you Gunther. Hunter. Um, Hunter says, how long will Bash in Berlin be? Well,
It started at
I'm not sure.
11.
I'm not sure what time zone you're in, but I think for us, it should
I think
start
it's
at
the same.
about noon or 1, I think. Um,
Yeah, so probably like 4,
yeah, I
5.
was, I was gonna say typically like 3.5, 4 hours, 3.5,
Yeah,
anywhere between 3 and 4 hours. The main card
yeah.
will last, so usually that's what it is. So yeah. Alrighty, man. SmackDown. The one and only thing from SmackDown to talk about, man. In the main event, they made us wait for the Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa segment type stuff again. And, well, the Roman was picking apart the new bloodline as they took away. This week, it was only Solo and Tama Tonga. It was only Solo and Tama. Obviously, Jacob was out with injury from SummerSlam, and then infamous Tongaloa was taken out but from the attack last week from Roman Reigns. Tama Tonga was there, and Solo was there, like I said. Roman came out again, pretty much rinse and repeat until the end of the segment, but it was pretty much the same kind of thing they did last week. no dialogue really yet with Roman and the the Solo. No really dialogue there, but Roman came out. He attacked Tama Tonga. He attacked Solo Sikoa. He grabbed he actually like got both of them down, like to the point where he grabbed the Ulafala and put it around his neck and was wearing the Ulafala again. Got a huge pop from the audience, but man, before you knew it, bro, before you knew it, there was the emergence of the werewolf yet again.
Hey.
A couple hours before that, we ran the story to you guys that Jacob was going to be back towards the end of August. And I said, okay, I maybe think they bring him back at Bash in Berlin, depending on what they do with the bloodline in Berlin, or they bring him back to SmackDown after Bash in Berlin. And they didn't. They didn't do that. They did it that night. Jacob Fatu pulls up on Roman Reigns, still wearing a boot, which I like, especially with him not being injured. I like them having him run around full speed, super kicking with the foot that he has a boot on. It makes him look like an absolute beast. It makes him look like he's running around with a broken foot, and he just doesn't care.
And he just doesn't give a shit. It looks so badass.
Yes. And dude, remember how we said, they might have to keep Jacob and Roman away from each other because you want to protect Jacob and you want to protect Roman? Well, Roman said to hell with that. Roman absolutely just showed the fuck out for Jacob Fatu. Sold for him like crazy. And the bloodline left the OTC laying in just laying in a pool of his own, whatever, I don't know, left him in a pool of something. He got his ass kicked, basically. Yes, exactly, Hunter. He got his ass kicked by the bloodline, man. And yeah, they beat the absolute shit out of him. And like I said, he sold like crazy for Jacob Fatu. And when I'm telling you, bro, whenever we get that match, that is gonna be something insane.
Oh, it's gonna go so fucking crazy, dude. He sold his ass off for that man. His facial reactions are always great, but they were just phenomenal, man. And he sold his ass off. He made him look great.
Most definitely, bro. Most definitely. And they are. Man, I am just so glad Vince never got his hands on Jacob Fatu because, oh
Oh, you
God,
would have killed him, man.
I just know he would just be the weirdest Samoan. Oh man, I know. I already know.
Weirdo. I
Oh
know it.
God. So yeah, that was that, man. And Roman did get his hands on the Ulafala, bro, but not for long because Jacob Fatu came back and put a stop to that real quick, bro. So it was very nice to see those two finally interact. And like I said, man, Roman said to hell with keeping them separated, bro. I mean, those two went right at it, man. And man, did he did he get laid out by the Samoan werewolf, bro? So it is it was crazy to see, man, but it was well done for sure. So that was basically the only thing from SmackDown, man.
I would say, yeah, that was the main thing. It was phenomenal, dude. Phenomenal moment.
And for the last show to talk about here today, no, guys, it's not AEW Collision. It is Monday Night Raw. This is obviously your August 19th version of Monday Night Raw. Man, August 20th. Wasn't this the day Punk came back 3 years ago? Or was that August 21st?
Might have been 21st. 20th. It's 20th.
Wow.
I just
Three,
remembered it was fucking on my wall. I was like, hold on, let me look back.
3 years ago today, bro. Man.
He did it. He fucking returned. Great moment. Phenomenal fucking moment of all time.
Yep. Man. I'll never forget being at Six Flags in Gurnee, Illinois, and getting the news that morning that um that Punk signed with AEW. Crazy.
Man, great.
I remember being just so giddy, bro, so excited, and just man, it was a great moment. It was a great moment.
It was. It really was.
Yeah, man, and then obviously, literally, bro, 3 years to the day, we pulled up to the United Center and shown the fuck out, bro.
Greatest return of all time. Crazy.
Man, that was such an awesome moment. All right, this Monday Night Raw took place from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And the show opened up with Randy Orton, which this was a bit of a bittersweet episode because this was the last time until January that we will see Pat McAfee on our TV, bro. So I
That's
believe,
unfortunate.
yeah, I believe Joe Tess actually doesn't Joe start sometime in October?
Yeah, I think it's October he starts.
I
I
wonder what
don't
they're
think
gonna.
it's that.
I wonder what they're gonna do. I wonder what they're gonna do
I wonder
in
how
terms of him. What were you saying?
yeah, I wonder how they're gonna do it.
Should be interesting, man. But um, so the show opens up with Randy Orton. He says, "What's up?" to South Florida. He says, "Welcome to Monday Night Raw." He says the next time he will be doing that, he will be a 15-time world champion. He says Gunther made it personal, and that's why he's going to beat his ass pillar to post in Berlin. He says last week he couldn't help but to talk about my father and my grandfather. And when he turned his back on me, I am me, so I had to hit him with the most dangerous 3 letters in all of sports entertainment. RKO. Gunther comes out. He says the only thing he needs Randy and every Florida redneck in here to do is shut up. He says, Randy, he asks Randy, what are you celebrating here? Hitting an RKO on me? He tells Randy, well, if that's the case, you should celebrate it because that's the only thing you will be celebrating. He says he's going to do the only thing. He's going to do the only thing. He's going to do the only thing that Randy achieved last week, and that is making this very, very personal. He said the only thing Randy achieved last week was making this very, very personal. The crowd starts a USA chant. Okay.
What?
Yeah, he tells the crowd, is that all you have to show support for this man? Is chant USA at me to go along? He says, is that all you have to do is chant USA? Those 3 letters to go along with the 3 brain cells you all have? He says, the people seem very hype to see this man hit another RKO on me. And he came here to let Randy know that you are never going to hit an RKO on me again. He says he knows how dangerous the RKO is, which is why you leave me no choice but to leave, which is why you leave me no other choice but to leave you a bloody mess at Berlin and leave you exposed for being a successful yet underachieving one-trick pony. Randy then says, Randy says, Gunther, you keep running your mouth, but it's going to make your flight to Berlin way more uncomfortable because it's going to be 8 hours of having a size 15 double wide shoe up your ass. Gunther gets pissed and he starts yelling at Randy off mic, and then Ludwig Kaiser attacks Randy from behind, obviously setting up the main event for later in the night. But excuse me. Yes. So he attacks Orton, and then Gunther and him do leave Randy Orton laying until the main event, man. So that was the open to Monday Night Raw. Pretty solid. I can't complain much about that. I did enjoy it, and yeah, man, that was that.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Gotta love it. Love Gunther. Love the fucking how much of a dickhead he is. Phenomenal at that shit. Did great tonight, and I like what they're building to, man.
For sure. Sheamus defeated Pete Dunne in their one-on-one match. It was a very, very good match, and Pete put Sheamus's hand in the turnbuckle pad, literally squeezed it in the turnbuckle pad, and was kicking his hand that he obviously hit with the shillelagh last week. He was Sheamus then as Pete walks away, Sheamus rips his hand out of the turnbuckle pad and hits Pete with a brogue kick, which obviously caught Pete very off guard because, I'm sure he thought that, Sheamus was trapped. And Sheamus beats him. This is their first match, and I do think this is a good sign because I do feel like with Sheamus winning the first one, I feel like Pete will end up winning the feud, hopefully. To maybe get himself a little more traction, but yeah, I mean, it was nice to see him on Monday Night Raw in a one-on-one match, and nice to see him getting people I guess just more familiar with him. So yeah, definitely a good thing for sure.
Definitely, I like this feud. I like what it's doing, and like how it's going, man. I think they're doing it real good, and I hope Pete Dunne comes out of this the victor.
Definitely. New Day are backstage. They're all Odyssey Jones is there, and he's pretty excited or whatever about his match. Odyssey walks away. Kofi says to Xavier, he says, "Hey man, I gotta ask you, you've been a bit off lately. Is everything all right? I know Karrion Kross has been trying to drive a wedge between us, but that's all he's trying to do, right? He's just trying to drive a wedge between us." Xavier says, he says, "No, that's what Kross does. I expect that from Kross." He says, "But I do have to admit, I just wish you would have talked to me before bringing him in." He says, "It just seems like you're trying to replace Big E." Whoa. Kofi then says, no. He says, "No, nobody could replace E. I just wanted to bring him in and give him a chance. Us being veterans in the locker room, that's all I was trying to do, because I'm sure that's what we wish somebody would have done for us when we were coming up and everybody was laughing at us." Xavier says, "You know what, man? You're right. I'm the problem. I'll fix that, man. I'll fix it." And then he kind of gets a little happy again. Odyssey comes back in, and Xavier kind of cracks a smile a little bit, and Odyssey, pulls him in for a big hug or whatever. But it seemed like Xavier Woods was fine, man. It seemed like Xavier was fine after this segment, and yeah, obviously this progresses a little bit later in the night. But after this, it seemed like Xavier was going to, wind back a little.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And the Big E reference is really interesting to see how they're going to do this, man. Very.
Definitely. American Made. We're backstage. Gable tells Ivy Nile, welcome to the group, and he is proud to accept her into the team after dumping Maxine after dumping Maxine as her best friend last week. He says this is a life-changing opportunity for you. You've never had a coach like me before. Ivy says Maxine got exactly what was coming to her last week. She says she is the real deal. She is the pit bull. And if Maxine can't realize that she was holding her back, then that's on her. Gable says after you break Malibu Barbie tonight, then after you break Malibu Barbie tonight and we are done with that failed experiment known as the Alpha Academy, we're going to end the Wyatt Six because we're not done with them by a long shot. And we're going to send them back to whatever swamp they came from, because unlike us, we know exactly where we come from. He then says, how are we made? And the group in unison says, American made. Pretty rad, bro. Pretty rad. I like it. I like it. I think it's coming along great. I like the way Gable delivered it. And I overall, man, so far I like the vibe very much.
Definitely, I like the vibe of the group. I like the direction they're going, and I think American Made is gonna stick, man. And I think Gable's doing the work in it, and I think it's gonna pay off.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ivy and Maxine then have their one-on-one match, which then goes into a no contest because early into the match, Ivy might have realized that aligning with American Made may have landed her in some hot water with the Wyatt Six, because the piano starts playing, man, and the lights go down, and Sister Abigail, Nikki Cross, is behind Ivy Nile. As she goes to attack Ivy Nile, the rest of the group jumps in the ring, and they're trying to back her off. They're trying to back Ivy off, and they're trying to back Nikki Cross away from Ivy, and the rest of the group comes out, Gacy, Loomis, and Rowan, and they start attacking American Made, which then would lead Uncle Howdy to coming in, and the Wyatt not the Wyatt Six, Uncle Howdy would then hit Chad Gable with a Sister Abigail, and it always makes me a little sad hearing Michael Cole call Sister Abigail, because it makes me think of Wyndham, and it makes me think of Michael Cole. Always had just a very exciting tone whenever he would scream out Sister Abigail when Bray would hit Sister Abigail on somebody, and man, sucks, dude. It sucks, but no, it's always nice to hear. It's always nice to hear Cole, call that move out, man. Definitely brings back memories for sure. So, yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, I like what they did there. Just continuing the feud between the two factions. Think it's going well, dude. And I just can't wait for to get Bo in the ring as Bo. I say it every week, but I just genuinely can't wait for it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely got to agree with you there. So that was basically that. He hits him with a Sister Abigail, and then that was about it. Priest and Rhea are backstage cutting a promo on Dominic and Liv, just talking about their match at Berlin. We did get the same sort of promo with Dom and Liv, just kind of hyping their match up for Bash in Berlin, and Damian Priest still can't help himself but to wave his hands around like he's spitting some fucking bars. So that's one of the best things for me to watch when I'm watching Damian Priest promos, man, is, man.
Just look out for his arms, man. He fucking rapping his ass off.
He really is, dude. He really is. I don't know if he's trying to cut a promo or whether he's trying to fucking lay down all the verses to Euphoria for me. So I don't know. I don't know what he got going on, but he gets pretty
mustard on the beat, bro.
I guess, dude. We know what he likes his mustard on.
We do.
But yeah, that was that. Yeah, that was that. So the next segment was a CM Punk promo. CM Punk comes out, man, and he says, it's great to be alive on a Monday night in Fort Lauderdale. He asks if his hair looks okay or if the bags under his eyes are getting bigger. Almost reminds me to one of his AEW promos where he talked about how he had, I can't remember where it was or what feud he was a part of when he cut the promo, but it was the one, it might have been the one with Kingston or MJF where he said, or it might have been the one with Hangman actually, where he said, I got scars, and by the time I'm done here in AEW, I'm gonna have a lot more.
You're right.
Yeah, he was shoot scars, not yeah,
So did Jack Perry.
yeah. So I wonder what would have happened if Hangman was in the building for Brawl Out. That would have just
been crazy.
Yeah, that would have been a lot crazier. He asks if his hair looks okay. He asks if the bags under his eyes are getting bigger. He says he didn't get a lot of sleep last night because he was excited to share the news that he needed to share tonight. Punk recalls stories about this past week at Fanatics Fest, and he says while he was there, somebody asked him why WWE is on a hot streak, and somebody asked him why CM Punk is on a hot streak, and he says it's all because of the fans. He recalled a couple stories of fans traveling very, very far to meet him. I believe he said one was from Jordan, the other one was from, I want to say Tokyo, but he recalled a couple stories about how fans were telling him how far they traveled to spend 15 seconds with him, and he talked about how much it means to him and all the performers back there. And specifically, he talked about how much it meant to him because he missed this for 10 years. He then pulled out a bunch of friendship bracelets that people made for him, and he talked about how now we need to talk about Drew McIntyre. He says Drew thought he was going to win at SummerSlam and then just go on, and this was all going to be over. He says Drew made it personal with him, and he's wearing a bracelet with his beautiful wife's name on it. He said that Drew, he said he made Drew a bracelet of his own as he holds up the strap. No, not the FTR gun kind of strap. He held up the strap that is used for the strap match, and he says he made Drew a bracelet of his own, and he holds it up. He says he didn't ask for the strap match because he wants to walk around and touch all four corners while strapped to his opponent. He asked for this match because he wants to whip that bitch and take his bracelet back. Drew McIntyre then comes out and he says he's been fantasizing about all the violence he's going to bring upon Punk. He says to Punk, I have a serious question. Have you started drinking? He says he accepts that next week he says he accepts. He then says he doesn't want to wait until next week to get his receipt for what happened last week. He says Punk. He tells Punk to lose the strap, and let's give these people a show, an early showing of what we're gonna do at Bash in Berlin. Punk says last week we gave him a teaser. Let's give him the full motion picture. He says he will lose the strap, or as a matter of fact, he will give it to Drew, as long as he gives him the bracelet back. Drew goes to take it off, and he's got this sad look on his face, and he's taking the bracelet off of his wrist, and then he puts it back on, and he says, no. He says, I'm not going to fall for that trap, because as soon as I go to give you this bracelet, you're going to beat me with that strap, and besides, April and Larry are safer at home with me anyway. Punk says, Punk says, unlike you in Berlin, it's not going to be me that's attached to you. It's going to be you that's attached to me. That was a bit of a Damian Priest last line. I felt like,
Yeah.
and it fell very flat with the crowd too. A lot of the crowd was kind of just like, huh?
Like I get what he tried to
Yeah,
do, like, oh yeah, you're so intertwined with me. Now you're gonna be intertwined. But like you could have did it a little better than that. Come on,
yeah,
you're CM Punk.
exactly. Yeah, like you said, I get what he tried to do. He tried to tell Drew, I'm not the one in danger. You are. You're
Mhm.
tethered to me. You know what I mean? I'm not tethered to you. So I get what he tried to do, but it kind of fell a little flat. I got to be honest. But other than that, I like the segment. Solid building towards the strap match, and yeah, I like it, man. I do.
Definitely, definitely, man. I like what they're building up. I like the idea of a strap match, and I'm excited, man. And I like how they integrated like the bracelet into it. I think
Hmm.
that's really fucking clever.
Yeah, as soon as he said that, as soon as he said I made Drew a bracelet of his own, I thought to myself, oh, that okay. That makes a lot of sense why they did the strap match because you wear it around your wrist. But
Exactly.
Punk's little jab about bringing his opponent to all four corners, I wonder if that was a jab at the old kind of strap match, or I wonder what kind of strap match they're going to have. Is it going to be the one where you have to touch all four corners, or is it going to be the one where you have to pin your opponent?
I would assume pin the opponent. All four corners seems way too like obscure and old school for WWE to do.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, yeah, maybe. I would like a stipulation where you couldn't make a pinfall until you touched all four corners.
That one would be like a good combo of the two.
Yeah.
I'd like that. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool actually. I don't know. I'm gonna need a little bit of royalty check for that one, but yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. You weren't eligible to win the match until until you touched all four corners. So
Yeah, I
um
like that.
uh New Day and Odyssey Jones defeated the Final Testament as Xavier was fine. They were all working together. He was waiting for a hot tag from Kofi, right? He's waiting for a hot tag from Kofi, and all of the sudden, Odyssey's not on the apron. Xavier is on the apron, and he's waiting for his hot tag, and he's got his hand out. And at the last second, Odyssey jumps on the apron, puts his arm out, and Kofi slaps his hand instead of Xavier's. And Xavier just had this really just, what the fuck kind of look on his face. And Odyssey would then get in there or do some tag team or do some double offense on AOP. He would hit them with some tag team type offense. He would hit, I want to say it was Razor with the Journey's End, and he won the match for the New Day, man. As Xavier Woods was kind of just looking at Kofi like, dude, what is your
What the hell?
problem? Um,
Hmm.
yes, that was, so I mean, that was good. I definitely like the building, the progression that they did with, building, this story, and I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. And I know this is going to involve Big E somehow. There's no way you can do a New Day breakup angle without involving Big E down the line in some capacity. Um,
You
I
have
know
to.
it.
Exactly. There's no way that's like what this isn't building up to. So I'm very curious to see the route that this story is going to take. They turned one of the worst parts about Raw into a really intriguing part about Raw, and I got to
Yeah.
give it to him for that.
Yeah, and Odyssey looks great, man. Odyssey looks great, man. The
Yes.
the the people love him. The people love him. He gets a pretty good solid reactions out there, and his offense is great. Yeah, his offense is great, man. And I mean, he just overall, man, he comes off really great. So, yeah, I think I think he's doing really good for you know what he's been doing so far, man. So, um, oh, again, I'm gonna say this again for the second week in a row. Paul Ellering and that look.
Oh,
Okay, not only
mm-mm.
does he have, not only this week is he still wearing those goof ass glasses that look like they're falling off of his fucking face. He's wearing a dark green do-rag. What the fuck?
What is he wearing, bro?
Yeah, this look for Paul Ellering. I love Paul Ellering, man, and man, in NXT, dude, when he was wearing the leather suit and coming out there with AOP, he looked like a menacing old man, but nowadays, dude, I mean, it looks like he's trying to relive his fucking Road Warrior days. I mean, it looks bad, man. It really does. And I hate saying that, dude, but it looks
Yeah,
horrible.
dude.
I wish the Final Testament was never a thing. That whole era of faction creating, Final Testament
Bullshit,
and
dude.
Pride, I wish those two groups were never put together.
I wish, dude. I think everyone would have been fucking better off without those two groups.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it looks horrible. It looks atrocious. Um, dude, our guy, Bronson Reed, bro,
My
they
guy.
are slowly but surely turning this man into something of a star. Something of a fucking
Mm-hmm.
star, man. I mean, dude, his crowd reactions are getting even better week by week. And they're building him, and what's most important about them building him, it's coming along organically. And I love that.
Mm-hmm. People are just taking a liking to him, and I
Yep.
like it, man. I like that a lot. I'm happy.
Yeah, no question. Um, Bronson defeated Miz in a no DQ match. Miz got Adam Pearce to agree to a no DQ, so he had some sort of chance against Bronson. Miz was trying to use weapons, dude. Bronson was just smacking him out of his hands. He obliterated the Miz. He hit him with a tsunami, and he beat him. As he was going to hit him with another tsunami, Pat McAfee got to get one big son of a bitch in before he left, because Braun Strowman trots his way out there. I forgot this dude was employed. Braun
I
Strowman
forget all the time.
yeah, Braun trots his way out there, and he is staring down Bronson Reed, as Bronson just had this glaring smile on his face. Um, I think this is going to be very good. I think WWE's in a position where they know to do the right thing, and they know Bronson cannot. You do not have Bronson Reed lose clean to Braun Strowman here. Yeah,
No,
you do not have him lose clean. I mean that just seems blatantly fucking obvious to me. And I don't think that's the way they're going. And with that, if you got Bronson taking clean victories over a guy like Braun Strowman, it's only gonna make him look better.
exactly, man. Exactly. I think this could do really well for Bronson Reed, man. And I can't wait to see how this goes, man. I can't wait to see his momentum continue to go up, dude.
Um, Definitely. Braun Breaker is in the back. He says he has just been informed that Adam Pearce is going to start a tournament for the IC Championship, because Adam Pearce is trying to slow him down at any pace that he can, because he is progressing faster than anybody in that locker room, and it is not his fault that he is progressing at such a fast rate through the roster. It's not his fault that the dogs are barking in every city they go to. It's not his fault he is more talented and more of a genetic freak than anybody that's back here. Uh, he says whoever wins that tournament, he is going to spear them through the floor, and they do not stand a chance coming for his IC championship.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I like it, but it does kind of suck that we're not going to be getting an IC title match at Bash in Berlin, because I really thought Dragunov was going to be in
On
some
the
sort
show.
of capacity at Bash in Berlin. So that kind of sucks, but um, it does suck for Dragunov, but I'll say this. Bronson Reed's been back since late 2022, and he's just now getting his chance. And when WWE goes all in on somebody, they'll
They're
go
going
all
all
in on you. And I do believe
in.
eventually, even though it sucks that we gotta wait, I do believe eventually, man, they are going to turn the leaf over on Dragunov, because they know he's too good and he's young.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that.
We're gonna take
And
some time.
at some point, they're I know they're gonna use him. At least I really hope so.
I I hope so, and I think so. I think with Braun Breaker right now, they're building up Bronson Reed. To them, I feel like there's not enough space to like build up Dragunov to that same level. Which
Mm-hmm.
why did you put him on Raw? If you're
Exactly.
asking that question, but what they did, and I feel like they're gonna use him. They're just waiting for them to make a spot for him.
Absolutely. The more and more time goes on, I kind of wish they put Ilya on SmackDown and made him a heel.
I wish they
Um,
really did, bro.
yeah, I mean, you got two babyface champions over there. You got Cody and you have LA Knight. And I think Dragunov as a heel would have done really, really well over there. I really think he would have. But yeah, so that was that. We got Dominic challenging in his little backstage promo with Liv. He challenged Damian Priest to a match. But Damian and Rhea scoped it out as being a trap. As Damian was on his way out, he turned around and just went to hit, and sure enough, Carlito was there as the Judgment Day. You know, they tried to trap him. So Damian takes out JD, Finn, and Carlito. He goes to get his hands on Dominic. Rhea comes from the other side, and they're cornered. They cornered Dom, and they start to attack him. They go to put him through the announce table. Liv comes out with a chair, smacks Rhea in the back with it, and the Judgment Day absolutely pounced on Damian Priest. As soon as Liv hit Rhea with that chair, they pounced on that man. Literally Undisputed Era style, started just all surrounding that man, pouncing on him. Um, I mean, it was they beat the shit out of Damian Priest, as well as Rhea Ripley, Finn. When they were all in the ring afterwards, and Damian and Rhea were laid out in the middle of the ring, Finn grabbed Damian by his hair and kind of had his head up, holding him up by his head. If only he would have done the Prince little gun to his head,
Hell yeah.
that would have
To
went
his
pretty
head,
hard.
that'd been real dope.
Yeah, but he
Hell
did.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, but he did not do that, and WWE probably would not have allowed him to do that. But
Fucking USA would have had an aneurysm.
yeah, yeah, they would have. Yeah, we would have seen a black screen in no time. Um, but no, it was a really good attack, man. It was a really good attack. It really gave off a nice vibe of, damn, they really beat the shit out of them, which they did,
Bad.
and I thought it was great. I thought it was great, man. I enjoyed it, and yeah, that was it for that segment, man. And like I said, man, the new Judgment Day so far has been pretty good. Like I said, all I can ask for is that Finn and and JD are kind of the main guys. I know Dom is going to be in there, but all I'm asking for is not even for JD to be a main guy in the group. I mean, I would like that, but I just need him to be taken more seriously.
Respectable.
And so far, it's been okay. Obviously, they could do a little better, if I'm being honest, but it hasn't been so bad.
100%. I like this Judgment Day. I like this new Judgment Day. I think their chemistry is well. like you said, I hope they take JD serious as time goes on. But I love just a faction beatdown, dude. I love that shit, and we got a great one.
Definitely. The Unholy Union defeated Damage Control and the Pure Fusion Collective in a triple threat tag team women's title match. Okay, question.
Okay.
If your main feud on Monday Night Raw is Damage Control and the Pure Fusion Collective, wouldn't you fucking think, since the titles are irrelevant as hell, wouldn't you think you would just add them to that, being that that's the
Yeah.
only feud that you have?
Why would you not add it to your only feud? I don't get that.
And they keep the titles on the Unholy Union, who have been the champions since June and have the amount of times they've been on TV since then, I can probably count on one fucking hand.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm
I,
sure.
and I don't even know if I would make it to my thumb. So I I don't really know what the logic behind that was, but that's what they did, bro. So I guess we're just gonna continue on with Damage Control and Pure Fusion Collective and the Unholy Union. I have no idea what they're gonna go on and do. So, yeah, but
So,
Shayna had the Kirifuda clutch-in, and while she was standing, Isla hit her with a backstabber and then held her in the backstabber position, and then Alba Fire hit a swanton on her, and that was the end of that.
well, since that the Cross and New Day stuff kind of isn't the worst thing on Raw anymore. I think we learned what a de facto into now. So
Yep.
we got Pure Shit Collective and Damage Control. Like, who knows, dude? Why? Why is any of this happening?
No idea. No fucking idea. Jey Uso is backstage. Jay says that Sammy, because she and Jackie asked Jay kind of what was going on with him, if him and Sammy, she asked him about him and Sammy kind of teasing, being back as a tag team, going after Judgment Day, and she asked him about, kind of his singles titles aspirations and stuff like that, and Jay said Sammy had to take a week off to clear his mind. He said Sammy said something to him before he left, and that was, even though I can't be champion, you can be. He said to Jay. So he says he hollered at Adam Pearce, and he put his name in the hat for the IC title tournament. He said the next time you see Jey Uso in your city, he will have the IC title on his shoulder. He said yeet. He walked away. Very interesting, dude. Is this gonna be Jey Uso's last stop before maybe this brings us to I'm trying to think, because don't they do a pay-per-view in September? Oh, they might not, because technically Berlin's at the end of August.
Or they could do a Saudi show. Don't they usually do one around
November.
coming up?
They do it like 2 weeks
November.
before Survivor Series.
Oh yeah, damn. So yeah. I think after Bash it would be
Bad Blood.
fucking what's it called? Yeah, Bad Blood. So
Very
that's
interesting,
really
because
interesting.
is this going to bring us to Bad Blood, or are we going to get Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso? Which, I mean, it is a tournament, so this could very well last till the
Bad Blood.
middle of September, which like
Yeah.
I said, would bring us probably right to about before Bad Blood, and maybe Bad Blood is where Jey Uso gets pulled back into little bloodline business. So maybe.
Maybe, you never know. It really could be going that direction, man. I think it
Yeah.
is.
That's even if he wins the tournament. So we'll have to wait and see on that, because Jey Uso's done a whole lot of nothing since
Oh
fucking
yeah,
God, maybe I would maybe say his feud after he lost for the world title against Damian Priest.
yeah. Done nothing since then.
So next week it got announced Chad Gable versus Uncle Howdy, not Bo Dallas. It was announced Chad Gable versus Uncle Howdy. How you feeling about this?
Scared. It better be Bo Dallas. Their mask better come off. I swear to God, if they make him wrestle as Uncle Howdy, I'm gonna be so mad.
I don't know if they're gonna try to do a thing where maybe he tries to wrestle with the mask and it's not really.
Helping him so he like ditches it. Not I know what you're trying to think. Like
Maybe
he
Bo
loses.
Dallas is like the higher the physical power, and Uncle Howdy's maybe like the mental power type thing.
Maybe, yeah, maybe it's gonna take like a loss as Uncle Howdy to be like, yeah, I gotta shed that and I gotta be,
Yeah,
more of myself. Maybe. I hope so at least.
I hope so, man. Cause him wrestling in a muscle shirt and a tank top and an Uncle Howdy mask with fake hair on a wig or on fake hair on a mask, I mean, is just. I
Scary,
just
dude.
want to
I
see
don't get
Bo.
shit. Exactly.
Yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see. But man, the main event, it was all right. It was nothing crazy. It was Orton versus Ludwig Kaiser. Gunther was out there to try to distract Orton. Didn't really work. He ended up beating Ludwig with a RKO, which the show went off the air with Gunther and Orton brawling. And it just kind of abruptly ended in the middle of their brawl. So that was that, man. And yeah, that was basically everything, man. That was basically everything for Monday Night Raw, and yeah, man, that was pretty much everything for
Yeah.
the week of wrestling, bro. So yeah, man, that is looks like that is all she wrote here today on this episode of Unscripted, man. This has been episode 209, man. So yeah, man. So with that, I guess that's gonna do it for this edition of NHP. Another great edition of Unscripted, man. And with that, like I said, man, that is going to do it for this edition of Unscripted. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 209. It has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And I, Sir K.
And that is going to do it for this edition of Unscripted. Like I said, man, thank you guys so very much for joining us, man. Hunter, Durante, OG, thank you guys all for joining us here today on this episode of Unscripted. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you guys. We love you all. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all on Friday with not only the news, but the All In London 2024 official show predictions.
Peace.